Long Island. To most, it's a place of beautiful beaches and quaint towns. But beneath that surface there's a darkness, a history steeped in conflict, tragedy, and unexplained phenomena. From the earliest days of settlement, through the turmoil of the Revolutionary War, and into the modern era, this land has collected stories. It's collected energies. These energies don't just fade away, they linger, imprinted on the very fabric of the buildings and the ground itself. We're drawn to these places not just for a cheap thrill, but to understand the mysteries that lie just beyond our perception. I've always believed that when you step into a location with a dark past, you're stepping into a different reality. The air gets heavy, the temperature drops, you can feel the residual energy of the souls who are still trapped there. Today, I'm not just going to tell you stories. I'm going to take you on a journey to the most active, the most intense, the most haunted locations on Long Island and the surrounding areas. These aren't just legends whispered in the dark, these are real places you can go, places where you can stand on the threshold between our world and the next. So turn down the lights, get ready. We're about to open a door to the other side. We're going to connect with the spirits, hear their stories, and maybe, just maybe, capture evidence of what lies beyond the veil. Are you ready to come with me? Because tonight, we're not just exploring haunted places, we're going on an investigation. We want answers. Our first stop is a place that might look ordinary from the outside, but inside, the energy is anything but. Stacy's Bar in Smithtown. For decades, locals have traded stories over their drinks, stories of things they can't explain. They talk about glasses flying off the shelves with no one near them, the sound of disembodied footsteps echoing from the empty floors above, and a chilling feeling of being watched when they're completely alone. This isn't just one or two isolated incidents. This is a pattern of paranormal activity that has terrified staff and patrons alike. We're talking about raw, unfiltered spiritual energy, making its presence known. They say the activity centers around a female spirit, a woman who met a tragic end here long ago. Some have seen her reflection in the bar mirror, a fleeting glimpse of a sorrowful face before it vanishes. Others have heard a woman's faint weeping when the bar is silent and locked for the night. Is she trying to communicate? Is she trying to tell us her story? That's what we're here to find out. We have to understand the history, the human emotion behind the haunting, to even begin to comprehend the phenomena that's occurring in this very building. Imagine you're the last one in the bar, cleaning up for the night. The lights are low, the only sound is the hum of the cooler. Then, from the corner of your eye, you see a shadow move. You hear your name whispered from an empty booth. This is the reality for the people who work here. They live with this every day. So, if you're brave enough to step inside, grab a drink and just sit and listen. You might just get a response from the other side. This is an investigation you can be a part of. Now we travel to a place that needs no introduction. A place whose name sends a shiver down the spine of even the most seasoned paranormal investigator. The Conjuring House in Harrisville, Rhode Island. The story of the Perron family and the torment they endured within these walls is legendary, documented by renowned demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. But the darkness here didn't begin with the Perrons. This land is tainted, cursed by the spirit of a woman named Bathsheba Sherman, a suspected Satanist who lived and died on the property in the 19th century. Her malevolent energy has soaked into the very foundation of this home. This isn't just a house with a few bumps in the night, this is a location of extreme paranormal activity. We're talking about violent physical attacks, levitating objects, demonic possessions, a level of spiritual warfare that is almost unimaginable. The energy here is thick, oppressive, and intelligent. It knows you're there. It watches you from the moment you step onto the property. People who have investigated here have left with scratches, unexplained illnesses, and a sense of dread that follows them for weeks. This place is a vortex, a gateway that should have been sealed long ago. To walk through the rooms of this farmhouse is to walk through a living nightmare. You can feel the fear, the pain, the desperation of the souls who have been tormented here. From the dark, imposing figure seen in the dining room to the chilling sounds of children's voices echoing from the empty bedrooms, every corner of this house holds a piece of its terrifying history. Visiting the Conjuring House isn't just a ghost hunt. It's a test of your courage and your spiritual fortitude. You are stepping into a battleground between good and evil, and you have to be prepared for what you might awaken. Some locations are haunted by one or two spirits, others are haunted by thousands. We're now at the massive, decaying remains of the Kings Park Psychiatric Center. For over 100 years, this was a place of unimaginable suffering. Thousands of patients lived and died within these walls, subjected to brutal treatments like lobotomies and electroshock therapy. The sheer scale of the human misery that took place here has left an indelible stain, an energy so powerful and so tragic that it's palpable from the moment you see the imposing, derelict buildings rising from the overgrown landscape. As you walk the grounds, past the boarded-up windows and collapsing roofs, you can't escape the feeling of being watched by countless unseen eyes. The air is heavy with sorrow and despair. Investigators and urban explorers have reported hearing blood-curdling screams echoing from the empty patient wards, the sounds of shuffling feet in the long, dark corridors, and the disembodied cries of people begging for help. These aren't just stories, these are the residual energies of tortured souls, trapped in a loop, reliving their agony for eternity. This place is a massive repository of pain. Building 93, the 12-story behemoth used to house the most severely ill patients, is considered the epicenter of the paranormal activity. They call it the Death Tower. People have captured full-bodied apparitions in its windows and recorded clear, intelligent EVPs of voices pleading to be set free. To step inside these buildings is to trespass into a world of madness and despair. The spirits here aren't just lingering, they're restless, they're confused, and some of them are angry. This isn't a place for the faint of heart. This is a place where the veil is thin, and the dead are waiting. There are some stories so terrifying they become part of our collective consciousness. 112 Ocean Avenue, Amityville. This is the site of one of the most infamous and controversial hauntings in American history. It all started with a horrific tragedy, the DeFeo murders, where an entire family was brutally executed in their sleep. But the horror didn't end there. When the Lutz family moved in just a year later, they claimed to have been driven out in just 28 days by a terrifying demonic force. This story spawned books, movies, and a legend that chills us to this day. The Lutzes reported swarms of flies in the dead of winter, cold spots that moved through the house, strange odors, and a secret red room in the basement that seemed to be a gateway to hell itself. George Lutz would wake up at 3:15 a.m. every morning, the same time as the DeFeo murders. The family witnessed levitation, green slime oozing from the walls, and the terrifying apparition of a demonic pig-like creature with glowing red eyes. Was this a hoax, or did the horrific violence of the murders open a portal, allowing something truly evil to cross over into our world? Today the house has been renovated. Its iconic eye-like windows changed to quell the constant stream of onlookers. But changing the facade doesn't change the history. It doesn't erase the energy of what happened here. The land itself is said to be cursed, a former enclosure for the mentally ill, and a place where a notorious dark magic practitioner once lived. People who visit the street still report an overwhelming sense of dread and have captured strange anomalies in their photographs. The Amityville Horror House is a stark reminder that some places are forever marked by evil, and the nightmare may not be over. History and hauntings are forever intertwined. Our final investigation takes us to the Raynham Hall Museum in Oyster Bay, a place that played a pivotal role in the American Revolution. This historic home was once the headquarters for the British Queen's Rangers, led by Lieutenant Colonel John Graves Simcoe. But it was also the home of the Townsend family, whose son, Robert, was a crucial spy for George Washington's Culper spy ring. The house is steeped in secrets, intrigue, and the powerful emotions of war. These energies don't just disappear over time, they become part of the building. The most famous spirit said to linger here is that of Sally Townsend. She fell in love with the British Lieutenant Colonel Simcoe, a forbidden romance that ended in heartbreak. Visitors on the museum's ghost tours often report feeling a sudden, inexplicable sadness in Sally's bedroom. They smell the faint scent of her apple blossom perfume and have seen her apparition, a forlorn figure in white gazing out the window, forever waiting for a love that could never be. Her emotional imprint is so strong, it has defied the passage of centuries. But Sally isn't the only spirit here. People have reported seeing the ghostly figures of British soldiers marching through the halls, their heavy boots echoing on the wooden floors. They've heard the disembodied whispers of secret conversations, remnants of the spy activity that once filled this house with tension and fear. Raynham Hall offers guided ghost tours, giving you the chance to walk the same halls as these historical figures and perhaps connect with them. It's a unique opportunity to use history as a trigger, to reach out and communicate with the spirits of the Revolution who still call this mansion home. We've walked through the darkness, we've stood on the threshold of places where the veil between worlds is thin. From the sorrowful spirit at Stacy's bar to the demonic forces of the Conjuring House, the tortured souls of Kings Park, the legendary evil in Amityville, and the revolutionary echoes at Raynham Hall. These locations are more than just spooky spots. They are containers of human history, emotion, and energy. The stories are real, the experiences are raw, and the spirits are waiting. They have something to say, and it's our job to listen. Now the question is, are you brave enough to continue the investigation? I've shown you the way, but it's up to you to take that next step. If you decide to visit these places, go with respect. Go with an open mind. Remember that you are a guest in their world, a world that exists parallel to our own. Be a true paranormal investigator. Document everything, question everything, and be prepared for anything. The evidence is out there waiting to be found by those who dare to look. So go out there, explore, connect. And when you have your own experiences, when you capture that unexplainable voice or that shadowy figure in a photo, come back here. Share your stories, your evidence, in the comments below. Let's build a community of investigators dedicated to uncovering the truth. This journey doesn't end here. For us, it's just the beginning. Stay safe and never stop seeking answers.